So on my code reader, it shows that I have two fault codes, a P1148 and a P0031. They both have to do with the upper bank 1 O2 sensor below threshold. Hey everyone, welcome back to Woods and Wrenches. This is Sean. I'm going to be working by myself today. We're going to be trying to get ready to go to a dyno day coming up next week. Got to do some spark plugs, fill it up with oil, and then the main thing we're going to be doing is trying to fix this O2 issue I have. I put up brand new O2 sensors in it when I did my up rev flash, but for some reason I'm not seeing my upper O2 sensor for bank 1, so we're going to give it a shot and see if we can't diagnose it today. So we're going to get it in here, we'll start running diagnostics on the O2 sensors, hopefully we can get that fixed, and then we'll get to work from there. So let's see if we can get it done. So this is my 06 350Z, it's a manual transmission. It was the base model, so that meant that it had the open rear diff, no cruise control, no traction control. They're a little bit lighter than your other models. So I've gone through and I put all the controls in for cruise control, and I've got a limited slip in it right now. We're eventually going to take the limited slip we're eventually going to take the open diff that I pulled out of it and either weld it or put a 1.5 way or 2-way rear diff in it and then put it back in the car. So I've got the Jim Wolf Technologies intake piping and filter. I've got the Motordyne intake spacer. I've got short tube headers. The car had stock test pipes on it, and when we put the Tomy titanium exhaust on it, I didn't like the way it sounded, so we went and put some cats on it. Also helps it with the drivability. I do like to get decent gas mileage on it when I'm doing long trips, but some people will probably give me guff about it. So then we got the uprev tune for it, the E-tune in the mail, and so what I need to do now is I'm going to take data logs so I can send them back and get the next stage of e-tuning. And to do that, I was going to take it to the dyno, and that way they could get good pulls on it and stuff like that and get pretty good data. But for some reason I've got that O2 issue and I'm not going to get the data that I want because it doesn't run right. I put new spark plugs in it when I did the O2 sensors and the uprev, and I'm pretty sure they're fouled again because it's running super rich. And that's just because with that O2 sensor not operating properly, it's never going to be able to make adjustments. It's just going to run super flooded. So if we can get that fixed, get good data, get a better tune on it, hoping to see some good numbers, but not gonna expect too much. So let's go ahead and see what we can find out. So we got to check something. When I hooked up the uprev diagnostic code reader, it showed that there was no codes. When I put my $20 Amazon code reader on it, it showed that there was two codes, both of them having to do with the upper bank 1 heated O2 sensor. So we'll go ahead and try to get codes from here, and codes. This might take a second. So yeah, so for some reason the uprev diagnostic trouble code reader just doesn't pull any codes. I don't get it. I don't understand why it's not working. So we'll go ahead and set this off to the side for a second, and then I'll pull the two codes that I have using my code reader, if I can get it to work right. So on my code reader, it shows that I have two fault codes, a P1148 and a P0031. They both have to do with the upper bank 1 O2 sensor below threshold. So we're going to connect up and use the data logger to see if we're getting any info from all of the O2 sensors, and then maybe we'll change the left one with the right one and see if it follows and I get a bank 2 code. And that would let us know that the O2 sensor itself is bad. If I swap the O2 sensors and it stays bank 1, then I know that there's something wrong with the wiring harness, or I'll have to dig deeper to find it. So go ahead and plug this back in. And then we'll go ahead and start it. I'll scroll back through so you can see it. But as we play with the throttle, so you can see here when the accelerator pedal position changes, because it's normally sitting at 0.77 when it's at idle, like right here where it goes 1.18, we can see that the bank 1 is still at 1.5 and the bank 2 is at 1.25. So obviously something is not fluctuating, so we'll switch the O2 sensors and then we'll hook fire back up, and hopefully what we'll see is bank 2 will now be solid and bank 1 will fluctuate, and that'll let me know that I just need to replace an O2 sensor, and then I can go on with my business. So yeah, let's get started on that. Sure, some of you will be like, hey, why don't you just get a set of the quick jacks and then you won't have to worry about this. I still would, because those probably would have been in the trailer that went to Arizona. So I'm lucky that I was dumb enough to leave a spare jack and jack stands behind, but hopefully we'll be able to get this done pretty quickly. So I'm going to disconnect the O2 sensors from up top, and then we're going to switch them down below. So super fun. So the connector is tucked up underneath here, and it's super fun to find. And hopefully we can, pop it free. Now, so here's the engine harness side. There's the O2 sensor side. So hopefully we can get that to fall down far enough that we can pull it from the bottom. And then we'll go grab the other one. So this one is underneath here, and I believe maybe, yeah, we can get it. So there's the engine side. This one. Trying to remember how it connects, because it's got a little mount. Yeah, that'll do. Cool. They're both loose now. I'm going to apologize in advance for any of these. I'm going to apologize in advance for any of these shots, because I don't have a short stubby stand. I just have the big tall one. So hopefully we can do this without it looking too janky. Okay, so that's the driver's side one out. Now, let's see if we can get that one out. Jesus. I promise I put anti-seize on those. The one that was difficult to get out is going to be bank 1 because it's different on JDM cars than it is versus standard old school V8s and stuff. So that's the sensor that's supposedly bad. We'll see. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put the other one in. You guys really can't see what's going on underneath there because again, we're only like a foot off the ground. So next that you'll see me, I'll have the 2 sensors back in, plugged in, and we'll fire it back up. At 70, bank 1 sitting at 68. See it over here. The wideband for bank 2 is now pinned at 1.5 volts, and the one for bank 1 is now changing. So it's clear. I have an O2 sensor that I got brand new that is bad. So I'll have to wait until I can get a new O2 sensor, put the new O2 sensor in, and then hopefully we'll be able to go and get some good data from this. Hey everybody, it's been a couple days. Got the new O2 sensor from the warranty. Went ahead and put it in because I figured you guys didn't want to see that a second time. I'm going to go ahead and start the car up with my cheapo OBD2 reader. We'll go ahead and clear the code, see if it comes back, and then I will hook up and see about getting us some more data and see if both O2 sensors are reading. So here we go. Engine lights off. We'll see if we can get full codes. See if it has one pending. So no fault codes found. Let's go ahead and connect the other one. Okay, so it came up. So now we're going to do logging and tracing. Sitting at 60 or not sitting at 70 constantly. We've got changing air fuel ratios. Now we've got no check engine light, both of our air fuel ratios work, or both of our O2 sensors work, so we're getting good air fuel ratios. Now we'll be ready for the dyno. We'll be able to pull good quality data, and then hopefully we'll get a good E-tune, and then we'll see what kind of power she's putting down. And we'll probably schedule another session of the dyno after the new tune comes in and we get it uploaded to the ECU, and then we'll go from there. We'll determine what our next upgrade is going to be. But yeah, so pretty successful. I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for following along and liking, and if you have any comments, go ahead and leave them and I'll answer them. Other than that, see you guys later.